Jai Sri Chaitanya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Om Ajnanatamrindasya Gyananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Jatak Swaminati Namne Nama Charipadaya Nitai Kripa Pradayani Gaur Katha Dhamdaya Navikram Tarni Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminati Namne Namaste Saraswat Devi Gaurvani Pracharne Nirvisesh Sunyavadi Paschat Deshtarne Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. कौन सा वर्स में है हम? Sorry, which verse are we in? Adi Leela chapter 1.
Yes, Mataji, I couldn't join last week. So Thursday was 23rd May was 1.51, but after that, I think some of the classes I couldn't join.
I did up to 55.
Okay.
Then 2 days I was not there. So Vedvit Prabhu did on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Which verse did he complete?
Yesterday also, I think he continued on the same month.
Oh, is it? Okay. Which verse then did he stop?
You shall ask Vedvit Prabhu.
1 minute. Mataji, Hare Krishna. Pranam Mataji. Keep checking, Mataji. Just 2 minutes.
Okay, I will just start doing one of those until he comes up with the verse. I'll do text 60. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti hrit karna rasayana katha taj jogsnad asva apavarga vartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishya. The spiritually powerful message of Godhead can be properly discussed only in a society of devotees, and it's greatly pleasing to hear in that association. If one hears from devotees, the way of transcendental experience quickly opens to him, and gradually he attains a taste in knowledge that in due course develops into attraction and devotion. Purport. This verse appears in the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25, where Kapila Dev replies to the question of his mother Devahuti about the process of devotional service. As one advances in devotional activities, the process becomes progressively clearer and more encouraging. Unless one gets this spiritual encouragement by following the instructions of the spiritual master, it is not possible to make advancement. Therefore, one's development of a taste for executing these instructions is the test of one's devotional service. Initially, one must develop confidence by hearing the science of devotion from a qualified spiritual master. Then, as he associates with devotees and tries to adopt the means instructed by the spiritual master in his own life, his misgivings and other obstacles are vanquished by his execution of devotional service. Strong attachment for the transcendental service of the Lord develops as he continues listening to the messages of Godhead. And if he steadfastly proceeds in this way, he is certainly elevated to spontaneous love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This verse was not done, no? Or was it done?
No, Mataji, it's not done. You're correct.
Okay.
Not done.
So I have to start with 60 only, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. So the spiritually powerful message of Godhead can be properly discussed only in a society of devotees. And it is greatly pleasing to hear in that association, if one hears from the devotees, the way of transcendental experience quickly opens to him, and gradually he attains a taste in knowledge that in due course develops into attraction and devotion. So the nectar of devotion also gives these stages that we have to discuss among devotees. Because to understand Krishna's message, naturally, whatever Krishna speaks is very, very powerful. And it is not simply some knowledge. Initially, when we read it, we only, just some words. We are just listening to some words. We don't realize the full impact of what Krishna is saying. But as we do devotional service, then what happens? The process becomes progressively as one advances in devotional activities. That's very important, activities. Then the process becomes progressively clearer and more encouraging. Very clear that it is a fact that devotional service is not a part-time job. It is, it is the absolute truth. And Krishna is the supreme truth, without whom we cannot even exist for a moment. So that becomes very clear. And it's more encouraging because we know that Krishna is always responding. So we get faith in devotional service. It doesn't happen mechanically. Oh, I have to do Arati. Okay, let me quickly do something and then finish it off. But then we become aware, no, I have to show, this is Krishna personally standing there. And I, even if we are not able to do fully, we can tell Krishna, please forgive me. But we should be aware that Krishna is there. So that much clarity keeps coming that whatever devotional service we are doing is absolutely true. It is not that sometimes we don't know whether I'm getting any results. I'm doing all these arati, chanting, even chanting. We don't know how much power it has. Every day I'm chanting. I don't know whether it's having any effect, but it does. So that becomes very clearer about the power of the holy name, the power of the message of Krishna. Unless one gets the spiritual encouragement by following the instructions of the spiritual master, it is not possible to make advancement. Because we have to become very, very eager. The more eager we are to progress in Krishna consciousness, the more we'll be able to advance. Therefore, one's development of a taste for executing these instructions is the test of one's devotional service. Whether we are just doing it mechanically or we really want to do it, we are enjoying it. That is the taste of our devotional service. Initially, one must develop confidence by hearing the science of devotion from a qualified spiritual master. Then, as he associates with devotees and tries to adopt the means instructed by the spiritual master in his own life, his misgivings and other obstacles are vanquished by his execution of devotional service. So we get the confidence by hearing from this guru, and then we have to follow it in our life. Then what happens? All doubts are destroyed, all obstacles vanquished. So initially we face with a lot of obstacles, but then if we stick on to devotional service with great faith and we endeavor, then what happens? All obstacles are vanquished, and strong attachment for the transcendental service of the Lord develops as he continues listening to the messages of Godhead. So when we are doing devotional service, we should only be concerned about that. I'm doing service to Krishna. I'm trying to satisfy him, please him. All other things, external, so many things might be happening. Some good, some bad, some disturbing. But because of the attachment to the devotional service, the devotee is not worried about all that. He continues listening to the messages of Godhead. And if he steadfastly proceeds in this way, is certainly elevated to spontaneous love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So every day we have to progress towards this spontaneous love for Krishna, that nobody has to tell us, or we don't have to force ourselves, oh, I have to get up, I have to do this. But we want to do it. We are eager to do it. Spontaneous love. I have to cook today and offer, otherwise Krishna will starve. So it is not some imaginary thing. We really feel Krishna requires, I have to do it, because otherwise, he is eating it. It is not imagination. Krishna does offer. And we have a wonderful method of making sure that Krishna eats. And what is that? Of course, we cook with devotion, following all the principles. But then how do you make sure that Krishna eats? Of course, with devotion, we recite mantras. But Prabhupada said, keep the food in front of the Guru and pray to him, please offer it to Krishna. He will do all the rest. He will offer. Gurudev will offer. Actually, it is a fact. See, some devotees, sometime back in ISKCON, there was a controversy whether eating chocolates, because they didn't know chocolates, they said, was, that also creates this thing, what do you call, you become addiction. So they said it's got some amount of caffeine and all that, cocoa. So they said that you must never eat chocolates. And so I remember during initiation, devotees would even say, I will not eat meat, not even, no onion garlic also, that's we're supposed to say. And then no tea, coffee, no chocolates. This was also included in that. And for so many years, we were just following that very, very strictly. No chocolate at all in any form. Then after that, so that time, what happened those days, there were some devotees who wanted to eat chocolate cake and all that. So there was only one sannyasi in the entire ISKCON, Bibi Ghosh Maharaj. He used to eat sometimes chocolate. So they, their own gurus, no, they were not eating. So they would only for offering chocolate cake, they would put Bibi Govind Maharaj's photo and Prabhupada and the Parampara, and they would offer it to him. Then I'm very confident that he will offer it to Krishna so that they could eat the chocolate cake. Later, they found that actually Prabhupada was not so fanatic about chocolate and all. Sometimes he himself used to put in his mouth and all that. So then they said that it's not like a regulative principle. You don't become addicted to it, but once in a way you can eat chocolate. So then, so why did I say this? Certainly elevated to spontaneous love. About how offering to Krishna, that Guru, Prabhupada said that put it in front of the Guru and he will offer it to Krishna. So in this way, everything becomes very meaningful. When we are offering, we are really offering, and we know that Krishna is really eating, because I did everything properly and I put it in front of my Guru. Now he will definitely offer. As long as we didn't do any mistake, we didn't put any wrong ingredients, or we were clean, we followed the principles of cleanliness and devotion, then we are sure that Krishna will definitely eat it. So all these things, when it becomes very clear that Krishna, imagine, Krishna is actually eating all that what I'm cooking, who will stop their service? Say, you every day you're cooking and Krishna is eating that, and then you're getting all the remnants from him, and you can taste Krishna in that prasadam. Such a wonderful, very, very enjoyable activity. So just by doing these simple things with devotion for Krishna, first we just do, I'm hungry, I have to make something what I like, and then I'll just put it in front of Krishna so that I don't get any karma. That is all we're thinking about, that, I should not get any karma, I should not suffer. This is our only thought. But as we start, uh, you know, doing it more and more for Krishna's pleasure. Okay, we can decide what we want to cook and offer, but still we are not thinking about ourselves, but we are thinking, oh, Krishna will eat that, right? It'll be so wonderful. It's my service to him. That way we get purified, and then we'll get spontaneous love. Like some devotees, they'll say, oh, my Krishna has not eaten today. I have to go quickly cook, otherwise he'll be starved. They're not thinking of their own starvation. They have also not eaten, but they are thinking that Krishna has not eaten. So that is spontaneous love. Ishvara Swarupa Bhakta Tandra Adhishtana Bhaktera Hridaye Krishnera Satata Vishrama. A pure devotee constantly engaged in the loving service of the Lord is identical with the Lord, who is always seated in his heart. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is one without a second, and therefore he's all powerful. He has inconceivable energies, of which three are principal. The devotee is considered to be one of these energies, never the energetic. The energetic is always the Supreme Lord. The energies are related to him for the purpose of eternal service. A living entity in the conditional stage can uncover his aptitude for serving the absolute truth by the grace of Krishna and the spiritual master. Then the Lord reveals himself within his heart, and he can know that Krishna is seated in the heart of every pure devotee. Krishna is actually situated in the heart of every living entity, but only a devotee can realize this fact. So, it's clearly said that Krishna reveals himself when we are very sincerely trying to serve him. A living entity in the conditional stage can uncover his aptitude for serving the absolute truth by the grace of Krishna and the spiritual master. Actually, we already have the desire to serve him because we have come from the spiritual world. We are spirit souls, and there is no other way. I mean, in spiritual consciousness, we have to, some may want to serve more, some less, but everyone is eager to serve Krishna. So we have to uncover that. So he has inconceivable energies, of which three are principal. The devotee is considered to be one of these energies. So what are the three principal energies? Internal, external, and marginal. So we are the marginal energy. And we can develop this attitude for service. How? By the grace of Krishna and the spiritual master. So we have to please the Guru and Krishna. Then the Lord reveals himself within his heart, and he can know that Krishna is seated in the heart of every pure devotee. Krishna is actually situated in the heart of every living entity, but only a devotee can realize this fact. So in the beginning, at least theoretically, we should be aware that Krishna is there in my heart and I have to do everything. He's watching. He's aware of every movement of mine. So every thought, word, deed, we cannot hide from him. So just being aware of him itself then will make us do everything in a proper way. Oh, Krishna, I don't have any love for you. I'm only thinking of myself all the time. And we should cry to him, please make me love you. And then Krishna will gradually reveal, okay, I'm here, don't worry. Then that is when a devotee becomes fearless. When you actually realize Krishna is in my heart, the devotee doesn't care for any, I mean, care in the sense not afraid of anything or any situation. Sadhavo hridayam manyam, sadhunam hridayam tvaham, mad anyat tena jananti, naham tebhyo managapi. Saints are my heart, and only I am in their hearts. They do not know anyone but me, and therefore I do not recognize anyone besides them as mine. This verse appears in the Srimad Bhagavatam 9.4.68 in connection with a misunderstanding between Durvasa Muni and Maharaja Ambarisha. As a result of this misunderstanding, Durvasa Muni tried to kill the king. When the Sudarshana Chakra, the celebrated weapon of Godhead, appeared on this scene for the devoted king's protection. When the Sudarshana Chakra attacked Durvasa Muni, he fled in fear of the weapon and sought shelter from all the great demigods in heaven. Every one of them was unable to protect him, and therefore Durvasa Muni prayed to Lord Vishnu for forgiveness. Lord Vishnu advised him, however, that if he wanted forgiveness, he had to get it from Maharaj Ambarish, not from him. In this context, Lord Vishnu spoke this verse. So that's why Lord Vishnu, he goes, Durvasa Muni goes to Durvasa Muni goes to Vishnu also and begs forgiveness. Please, please stop this Sudarshana Chakra. It's blazing. And that is when he said that I cannot do anything. You have to go and ask Ambarish, because saints are my heart and only I am in their hearts. They do not know anyone but me, and therefore I do not recognize anyone besides them as mine. Certainly not Durvasa Muni, because he was not a pure devotee. He is also a devotee, but more of a jnani. The Lord, being full and free from problems, can wholeheartedly care for his devotees. His concern is how to elevate and protect all those who have taken shelter at his feet. The same responsibility is also entrusted to the spiritual master. The bona fide spiritual master's concern is how the devotees who have surrendered to him as a representative of the Lord may make progress in devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always mindful of the devotees who fully engage in cultivating knowledge of Him, having taken shelter of His lotus feet. So the Lord is always thinking about us because He doesn't have any problem or care. His concern is simply how to elevate and protect all those who have taken shelter at His feet. The same responsibility is also entrusted to the spiritual master, because he has to be concerned about how to elevate these devotees and protect them from falling down from all those who have taken shelter at his feet. He is so concerned about every disciple. The Lord being full and free from the Lord being full and free from problems can wholeheartedly care for his devotees. Text 63. Bhavad vidha bhagavatas tirtabhuta swayam vibho tirti kurvanti tirtani svantastena gadabrita. Another famous verse. Tirti kurvanti tirtani. Saints of your caliber are themselves places of pilgrimage. Because of their purity, they're constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. This verse was spoken by Maharaja Yudhishthira to Vidura in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.13.10. Maharaja Yudhishthira was receiving his saintly uncle Vidura who had been visiting sacred places of pilgrimage. Maharaja Yudhishthira told Vidura that pure devotees like him are personified holy places because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always with them in their hearts. By their association, sinful persons mm, uh, sinful persons are freed from sinful reactions. So, and therefore, wherever the pure devotee goes is a sacred place of pilgrimage. The importance of holy places in due in the importance of holy places is due to the presence there of such pure devotees. So Yudhishthir Maharaj told about Vidura like that because when Vidura came back after the war, he was not there during the war, and so Yudhishthir Maharaj said, "How was your journey to all the tirthas?" But then he said, "You yourself are a big tirtha kshetra. You will purify even tirtha stans because so many people come and leave their sins. And only because of the visit of such exalted devotees, then the sins are nullified, and then there is the tirtha, the holy places also become purified because of this. And why do they have this specific capability of purifying even holy places or holy rivers? How? Because of their purity, they are constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. So, how wonderful yogis, bhakti yogis, are carrying Krishna in their hearts, and they can purify. That is why we have to always be thinking of Krishna. No negative thoughts. Anything comes, it's all in the mind. We're not supposed to think all those thoughts at all. Those thoughts come only when we forget Krishna and indulge in sense gratification. Something or the other, we fall back into our material identity. Then that's why we are not able to always remember Krishna. We are supposed to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, isn't it? That is the injunction for devotees. And why do we forget him? Because of sense gratification. And these great sadhus are not doing any sense gratification, always in their original, position of being a servant of Krishna. And that is why a pure devotee who's serving Krishna like that is a holy place, because he's carrying Krishna with him. They, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, they mentioned, Rupa Goswami, you yourself, wherever you are, that is where Vrindavan is. And, it's not that only we have to go to Vrindavan. Wherever a pure devotee is, the whole dham is there. Krishna is there. That's why in the front of the Guru, we feel so much ecstasy like dham. And the importance of holy places is due to the presence there of such pure devotees. That's what Prabhupada said, that when you visit a holy dham, you should look out for the sadhus. Are there any sadhu there? And I mean, genuine sadhu, not fake ones, real good sadhus. And that is personalists, Vaishnavas, sadhus. Impersonalists, okay, we can pay obeisances. Prabhupada said, when you see an impersonalist, you can offer obeisances, but don't listen from them. That's all. But we should be looking out for Vaishnava sadhus so that we can hear from them. Se bhakta gana haya dvivida prakara parishad ghana eka sadhakat ghana ara. Such pure devotees are of two types: personal associates or parishads and neophyte devotees, sadhakas. So there are even neophyte pure devotees. Perfect servitors of the Lord are considered as personal associates, whereas devotees endeavoring to attain perfection are called neophytes. So even sincere new devotees are considered to be pure devotees. Prabhupada said, all of you are pure devotees. Anyone following this, whatever Prabhupada has said. And why is that? He said that you just, right now, you're not sweet. Just like mango, when it's raw, it's very sour, it's not sweet. We like only when the mango becomes ripe and sweet. In the same way, devotee may be doing all these activities of devotional service, but then he has to develop the attachment to Krishna. And so there are two types. One is the perfected ones, personal associates, parishads, and neophyte devotees, sadhakas. Among the associates, some are attracted by the opulences of the personality of Godhead, and others are attracted by nuptial love of God. The former devotees are placed in the realm of Vaikuntha to render reverential devotional service, whereas the latter devotees are placed in Vrindavana for the direct service of Sri Krishna. So we can see how by performing devotional service, we can get promoted to this kind of spontaneous devotional service where we want to serve. We'll feel miserable without service. It should become like that. Now we try to escape. Oh, somebody else is doing the service. Oh, very good. I will relax. But rather, a devotee wants that Krishna should be served in whatever way he wants. He may even assist a devotee. Okay, you do. I'll just assist you. I'll make sure that Krishna has wonderful things for his enjoyment. So that service attitude is the most important thing, most valuable thing. And that also in the spiritual world also, it keeps getting more and more elevated, because first is Vaikuntha Dham, where there is awe and reverence. But because we keep a distance from Krishna, and so we cannot be very intimate with him. But in Krishna Loka, because they love Krishna so much, they want to be so close to him that they even forget he's God. I don't mind. Okay, send me to hell also, Krishna. I don't care, but I want to serve you very intimately, like the gopis. They didn't mind. They were not attached that, oh, because if you're attached, then you'll become, you won't be spontaneous. You'll see so many considerations. Oh, Krishna wants this dust from my feet. And Narada Muni came and said, he wants whichever devotee's dust, if I can put on my head, my headache will go away. And all others were all calculating. No, no, no. If I give it to Krishna, I'll go to hell. So I won't give. But the gopis, they gave immediately. They heard the petition. They immediately took, take, go and give it to Krishna fast. Oh, wow. Narad Muni said, are you not afraid? What will happen to you putting your dust on Krishna's head? Supreme Personality of Godhead. He said, we don't care. Let us go and be in the hell only. But Krishna's headache should be fine. He should become fine. That's all. He should be happy. What does it matter if I go to hell? Just imagine what kind of love that is. So intimate. Only Krishna, his happiness. That's all. Gopis are not interested in themselves at all. That is why they're the most exalted and most dear to Krishna. Ishwarera avatara etina prakara. Amsha avatara ara guna avatara. Satyavesha avatara tritiya imata. Amsha avatara purusha matsyadika yata. There are three categories of incarnations of Godhead: partial incarnations, qualitative incarnations, and empowered incarnations. The Purushas and Matsya are examples of partial incarnations. Partial incarnations, qualitative incarnations, and empowered, Satyavish. The Purushas and Matsya are examples of partial incarnations because they don't have the full potency of Krishna. Purusha avatars, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, they are only taking care of the material world. So they don't have to have all the potencies. Just for that, whatever is required, Krishna has expanded. They are functional only for the material world. And Matsya Avatar is also a partial incarnation. Matsya Avatar came only for a particular purpose, and then that's it. He did that and went away. Is only a portion of Krishna's powers are in them. So there are these three kinds of categories: Gunavataras, Purusha Avataras, and Satyavesh Avataras. Brahma, Vishnu, Shivati, na Gunavatare Gani, Satyavesha Sanakadi, Pritu Vyasamuni. Satyavesha Sanakadi. So it says Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are qualitative incarnations. Empowered incarnations are those like the Kumaras, King Prithu, and Mahamuni Vyasa, compiler of the Vedas. So the three Gunavataras are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and Satyavesh avatars are like the Kumaras. Dui Rupehaya Bhagavanira Prakasha Ekata Parikshahaya Arasa Bhavilasa. The personality of Godhead exhibits himself in two kinds of forms, Prakasha and Vilasa. Abhidvid Prabhu said quite about avatars. So now he is going to tell us. The personality of Godhead exhibits himself in two kinds of forms, Prakasha and Vilasa. The Supreme Lord expands his personal forms in two primary categories. The Prakasha forms are manifested by Lord Krishna for his pastimes, and their features are exactly like his. When Lord Krishna married 16,000 queens in Dwaraka, he did so in 16,000 Prakasha expansions. Similarly, during the Rasa dance, he expanded himself in identical Prakasha forms to dance beside each and every gopi simultaneously. When the Lord manifests his Vilasa expansions, however, they are all somewhat different in their bodily features. Lord Balrama is the first Vilasa expansion of Lord Krishna, and the four-handed Narayana forms in Vaikuntha expand from Balarama. There is no difference between the bodily forms of Sri Krishna and Balarama, except that their bodily odors, there is no difference between the bodily forms of Sri Krishna and Balarama, except that their bodily colors are different. Similarly, Sri Narayana in Vaikuntha has four hands, whereas Krishna has only two. The expansions of the Lord who manifests such bodily differences are known as Vilasa Vilasa Vigrahas. So the first distinction of what we learn is Prakasha and Vilasa. Prakasha forms are identical with Krishna, like Swayam Rupa. So the Swayam Rupa is Krishna as the cowherd boy, and he expands himself. These Prakasha forms are when the Rasa dance, those are Prakasha forms, exactly like Krishna. There is no change at all. Just the same person has become multiple forms, but there is no difference in them at all. And also another time, when did he? Yeah, for the queens of Dwaraka also. So those are Prakasha, 16,000 Prakasha expansions of the Lord. Vilasa means those who are, for the Leelas with us. And those have somewhat different bodily features. So first is Balarama. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead also, exact powers that Krishna has, Balram also has. But he looks a little different, and that is his white color and his blue dhoti. So that is the only difference. And Lord Balarama is the first Vilasa expansion of Lord Krishna. And the four-headed Narayana forms in Vaikuntha expand from Balarama. So there is no difference between the bodily forms. So this is the Prakasha and Vilasa. Now we will see the category, how this Prakasha forms expand themselves and how Vilasa forms expand themselves. Expansions of the Lord who manifest such bodily differences are known as Vilasa Vigrahas. So that is what? Vilasa Vigrahas are different from Krishna slightly in their forms. एकाई विग्रह यदि हया बहुरूपा आकारे ते भेदा नाही एकाई स्वरूपा महिषी विवाहे ये कैलासे आके कहिया कृष्णेरा मुख्या प्रकाशा. When the personality of Godhead expands himself in many forms, all non-different in their features, as Lord Krishna did when he married 16,000 queens, and then he performed his rasa dance, which such forms of the Lord are called manifested forms. Okay, that is the Swayam Rupa form. When he performed this, okay, they are called the manifested forms. That is, they are all similar. There's no question of all non-different in their features as Lord Krishna. Okay, and when he performed his rasa dance, such forms of Lord called manifested forms. So then, Chitram Bataitad Ekena Vapusha Yugapat Prithak Griheshu Dvi Ashta Sahasram Striya Eka Udavahat. It is astounding that Lord Sri Krishna, who's one without a second, expanded himself in 16,000 similar forms to marry 16,000 queens in their respective homes. This verse is in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.69.2. And the next verse, okay, no. Rasotsava sampravritto gopi mandala mandita yogeshwarena krishnena tasam madhye dvayu. When Lord Krishna, surrounded by the gopis of cowherd girls, began the festivities of the rasa dance, the Lord of all mystic powers placed himself between each two girls. This verse is also quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.33.3. Okay, one more verse. Pravrishtena grihitanam kante swa nikatam sriya yam manyeran nabastavad vimanashata sankulam vivokasam sadar anam atyaut sukya britat manam tato dundubayo nedur nipetu pushpa vrishtaya. When the cowherd girls and Krishna thus joined together, each girl thought that Krishna was dearly embracing her alone. To behold this wonderful pastime of the Lord, the denizens of heaven and their wives, all very eager to see the dance, flew in the sky in their 100 airplanes. They showered flowers and beat sweetly on the drum. Okay, so we'll stop here. There is another quote. Okay. So that's what then we'll know what is Prakasha Vigraha. Yes. Any questions or comments?
Mataji Hare Krishna, Dandapranam Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Dandavatan. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji, regarding just before starting, you told about the non-devotees, we should not tell about this Krishna Katha for get the taste of the holy name. But we are in the Bhakti Ruksha or any other places we are going, they're all non-devotees, and we have to tell the Krishna Katha, then only maybe they will get the attraction. Mataji?
It was not said that you must not tell them. It is said that you have to, for your own advancement, you have to associate with more advanced devotees, and they are associating with you to get your association. So you must also give them Krishna. Everybody must get Krishna.
Yeah,
So
Mataji.
they're associating. Yeah, they're also getting Krishna Katha.
Yes,
But for our purification and advancement, we should also associate.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Maybe I wrongly understand. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, we'll stop now. We'll go for prayers. We'll pray for His Holiness Jai Tak Swami. And let's continue praying for him very sincerely so that he's completely cured. And I mean, anything is possible.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Yeah, please accept my
Mataji, I've shared the list, Mataji.
You've shared the what?
Devotees prayers list.
Okay. Thank you so much. Very sincere. Nice. Thank you for your seva. Yeah, okay. I will read from that. Then very quickly we can. Okay. Guru Maharaj's good health. So we pray for his for his longevity, for his protection from all diseases and speedy recovery, and Guru Maharaj servants for their good health and protection from all diseases. Prabhupada, all Prabhupada disciples, good health and longevity, protection from all diseases, and speedy recovery from any illnesses. And you not mention all the devotees. All the devotees for their and their family members for their good health, well-being, protection from all diseases, longevity, and speedy recovery. Then for rainfall in Telangana and Karnataka, we want very good rainfall this year. And for Modi ji's success, today I think he's starting his meditation, and we hope really Krishna blesses with great success. Whatever people may be talking or predicting, that doesn't matter. Ultimately, it's Krishna. And we really hope he gives a big success for him so that, he can bring about, he's such a powerful and he's got big plans for us, and peace and prosperity in India and all over the country. So let us pray for all this. Let us chant 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Then we pray for Swami Reddy Prabhu for his speedy recovery.